we have to move on to our number 9, which is effectively the middle. This is the most average of my feelings towards Pokemon types. We have electric. Now, electric Pokemon are pretty damn electrifying. Voltorb, Electrode, two of the most annoying Pokemon of all time. Just because we go in the power plant, oh, Voltorb, I'll catch that, go attack it, explodes, self-destruct. Electrode, oh, that's really neat, self-destruct, explodes. Oh, mate, are you kidding me? Then you've got Pikachu, the most overhyped Pokemon ever. Cute design, going from Fat Pikachu to Athletic Pikachu, fine, like, so what? But it's so overrated. Then you've got Zapdos, arguably the best out of the 3 legendary birds. Arguably. Electrike, which is an amazing Pokemon. One of my all-time favourite Pokemons is Luxray, coming from Shinx. Once again, that's electric. For a long time I thought it was electric dark because of the design, and it had Bite, which was a dark move. But no, it's a pure electric type. And I was great with that. That Pokemon did me amazing things. So I love it to bits. And as much as I do like electric, it is the middle of the road. Because the love-hate thing. When I was a kid, get blue, and I want a Pokemon. Yes, I want Pikachu. I want to boss the league with my Pikachu. And I'm like... Then I learned how bad a Pokemon Pikachu actually is. It's not a good Pokemon. It's quick. Then you evolve into Raichu and it gets more powerful. But like, the pressure you have to go through and the skill you got to go through to get the Thunderstone, to make it worthwhile, and then you've got to get into what I don't like doing. I don't like the IV and the EV train. I do not like that. Some people do it and they're great. Like, it's competitive battling, and I play the game for fun. I just want to pick up a Pokemon and have fun with it. So a lot of Pokemon types, I do not have fun with that type. And that's what the game's about, having fun. And electric, some of them have real fun with, others, they annoy the hell out of me. That's it. I suppose on that one, we move on to one type of Pokemon which I imagine some people may be a bit surprised about being relatively low down, and that's at number 8 with Dragon types. Dragon was the most amazing type Pokemon going at some stage when I first started. I am not a young man. Well, I mean, oh no, I was about to say I am a young man, but no, I'm technically not a young man anymore. But that's how it goes. But Dragon type, once again, you have some absolutely amazing Pokemon in there, and their boss and their champs, and you got like Pokemon Master's a Dragon type user, and it's cool. But for myself, I always loved getting Dratini. I'd waste all my money up to that game point to get Dratini out of the casino. And it would be such a slog to train that Pokemon up. I love it to bits, but I never ever got a Dragonite. I got Dragonettes, but I never got a Dragonite. Mainly because I would get to a stage where I've trained it up, I've done everything. The only thing I haven't done is beat like the final boss, like Red or Blue, whichever you want, take your pick. And I'm just like, it's a stage where I've just sat through the entire game, half of it training this one Pokemon up, and it's still not at a stage where I can get the 3rd evolution out of it. It's not maxed, and I've only got one more guy to beat. I'd lose interest, which unfortunately is a shame, but that's just, how it goes. So moving on, we have number 7, Water type. I love Water type. Water type's amazing. Some of my favourite Pokemon are Water types. You have Blastoise, Feraligatr, Magikarp, Gyarados, who's amazing Pokemon. The whole Poliwhirl line, which are this really amazing Pokemon. Obviously, you got just water types just everywhere. Yes, it has awful ones as well attached to it, which is like Tentacruel, Poison, Water Poison, and they're basically the Zubat of the water, and I hate Zubat, and I hate them. They're so annoying, but they're epic at the same time. And I had enough of them, but water type in general is just amazing. It's so good to go out and surf, and it's really important. But the emphasis of them being that important is probably why it's so far down. If it was just a type to use for fun, so be it. But you're forced to use it every single game because you have to surf places. And I kind of feel if you wasn't forced to use it, it may be high on the list. But equally, there's so many good water types out there. Land-based ones, sea-based ones, lake-based ones. They're just such good ones. Like Sharpedo and stuff like that. It's just epic. They really are. Talking of epic and stuff you need for in-game, we have number 6 with flying. I'm just a big fan of birds and I fly back. My favourite Pokemon of all time is part bird, and that's Skarmory. So yeah, I just love the bird Pokemon, and most of the designs look really good. Yeah, like Spearow and Fearow are annoying, but then you've got the Pidgeotto, Pidgeot line, which are just brilliant from when I was a kid. You've got the brand new Corviknight come in, and Corviknight looks boss. It looks an absolute beast, and it is brilliant to see. It's so good. But like flying type is just so good. Then you got the levitate ability, so a lot of ground types won't work. Well, ground types just won't work, which is fine. I mean, you got the actual fly attack itself, which I think is brilliant. If you go up, you disappear for a turn, they miss attack, you come down, and it's a beast of a move. I love birds, I love flying. So flying type makes my number 6. Moving into number 5, we have Steel. And the reason why it's number 5 is it could be better. But I love its bits. The Pokemon in the Steel category are brilliant. Over them all, like you got the whole Aaron line, Skarmory, which I mentioned my favourite Pokemon. That Aaron line makes my top 10 as well. But like Steelix is such a boss Pokemon. It's brilliant. I mean, I really liked Onyx, the fact that he created Steelix, which is so good. There's so many good, decent Steel Pokemon out there. Yeah, you get some weird ones, like you get the Bronzor line and stuff like that, but they look good. You're not Klinklank, and you're like, stupid name, stupid premise, but it's still cool. Klefki, once again, the premise behind it is really, really cool. The execution, not so much. But that's how it goes. Okay, we're running close, but we've only got 4 types left. So in 4th place, we have Fire. Fire Pokemon there's not a bad Fire Pokemon out there. There's poor execution, but the Pokemon itself is not bad. Look at Torkoal, Magcargo, yeah, Slugma. They could be better, but they're not bad by any stretch of the imagination. They are physically good Pokemon. The history, the backstory is good, the design is good, but the execution is not where it should be. Of course, in the Fire line, you've got the whole Charmander line, you've got Cyndaquil line, which are 2 of my favourites of all time. I love them to bits. Ponyta, Rapidash, amazing Pokemon. I love them to bits once again. And I mentioned both Vulpix and Ninetales. They're just brilliant Pokemon. The designs are so good. You can't go wrong with a Fire type unless it's mixed with fighting and it's a starter. I am sick and tired of fire fighting starters. There's a lot of Pokemon games where I physically struggle to pick a starter because the starters are naff. I'll go do another video of what I think of each generation starter Pokemon on design and backstory, not my personal feelings of how they are to use. But against that. So in third place we have Psychic, which is just great. I mean, Psychic is one of those types where no matter what game I'm playing, I have to have at least one Psychic Pokemon. With earlier games, most of the time it was Abra to get myself a Kadabra. I would never get Alakazam because I needed to trade it and I had no one to trade with. But I would always have a Kadabra. And I love my Kadabra to bits. Abra is cute, Alakazam is brilliant, but once again, I've never used Alakazam. Excuse me. But Psychic type is just so cool. There's so much going with it. The Drowzee and Hypno line, so good Pokemon. I think they're really well done. Really good backstory. There's a lot more. You got the new Ponyta Rapidash line being Psychic. Along with everyone else, I thought they were going to be Fairy, but I'm not as disappointed to find out that they're Psychic, not Fairy. Although I think Fairy could have suited, or if it was Fairy Psychic, Psychic Fairy. I mean, combine those two, and I think that would have been a really interesting combination for what essentially is a well-designed Pokemon, which is not that great, if I'm being perfectly honest. But that's here or there. Now we get into our top two types. First off, we have Ghost type in number 2. I love the Ghost type so much. Some of my favourite Pokemon of all time are in that. You've got the entirety of the Ghastly line, just brilliant. You've got one of my newest favourite Pokemon coming out, which is Mimikyu. Mimikyu is awesome on every single level. And you've got they've got witchy Pokemon like the Ghost and the Hats, things like Midoriya. That's the one that's good. There's so many of them. I'll put a bunch of Ghost type Pokemons up in this corner here just to show you some really good ones that I'm a big fan of. Ghost type is just brilliant, but equally it could be number 1. Ghost type could be number 1, and it's just on this list is I've put number 1 being Dark type. Dark type is just one of those types. As soon as it got released, I latched onto it. It was my type. Dark type, known as the evil type, it's just superb. It gives us the best evolution ever. You should know what it is by now, because I say in every video, it is what I am, your friendly neighborhood Umbreon. I love it a bit. I have an Umbreon onesie. Umbreon's not even my favourite Pokemon, it's my second favourite Pokemon, it's Skyrim first. But Umbreon, there's something special about it. I love it to absolute bits. Then you've got stuff like Houndoom, which are, dark fire, but they're just brilliant Pokemon on all types of levels. We need more and more dark type Pokemon. We do not have enough dark type Pokemon, and I think we should get them. And I say dark type is my favourite Pokemon type going. These are just my thoughts on them with a few Pokemon examples. Please let me know in the section below what is your favourite types of Pokemon, and let me know in the comment section below what more you'd like to see from me in these list-based ones. I want to do a few more of these. But anyway, I just want to say a massive thank you for tuning in. Please check me out on social media. DEKUZZEN on Instagram and Daniel KUZZEN-FF on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am your boy, Cousin Feral Ferret, your friend Umbreon, and I will see you in the next video. And I'm going to sign off with a big smile on my face, saying thank you and ciao. Bye bye.